So in the previous video, we created this process text endpoint and we set it up to process text-based prompts. Yeah, text-based prompts. We sent it a prompt saying who is Joe Biden, and we got a fantastic result back with a detailed breakdown of who Joe Biden is. So that is for text. In this video, we're going to be processing images with Gemini. Yeah, Gemini also has the ability to take input as an image input rather, and process it, generate a response, a textual response. For now, we can't generate images yet from the Gemini API, even though we can do it from the Gemini chatbot. Yeah, but we cannot do it from the API yet. We can't do it just yet. So let us look at what we can do here with images. We're going to be creating another endpoint. So I'm going to go back to Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to create another post endpoint. Let's say app.post. And this one is going to say process image. Yeah, process image. So I'm also going to give that an async callback as a handler. Okay, so we have that in place. All good. So now that we want to process images, that means we're going to be receiving images from our client. So we need a bunch of stuff we need to do to make sure that we can take images from our client. First, I'm going to be bringing in a library called Malta. Malta is going to help us to easily receive image data from our client, and have it to work with within our Nodejs application. So we're going to bring in that in. We're also going to be bringing in an npm package called MIME types. That's MIME types. MIME types. We're going to be bringing the MIME types package from Node.js, because we also need to auto detect the MIME type of the image that is being uploaded to Gemini. So that's not something that we can add code. Yeah. So we're going to be bringing in those two libraries, and also we're going to be making use of some libraries from the Node.js standard library. So let's go to our command line. Let me just kill the server. Let's clear this. So like I said, we will need to install the npm package called Malta, and we also need to install MIME types, MIME types. Yep, we need to install these two to help us with our image processing. So I'm just going to hit enter to install this. Let's go. Yeah, so we have those two in. Let's start working with them. Let's go back to VS Code, and I'm just going to go up here. First, I'm going to bring in Malta. Require Malta. Good. Then I'm also going to bring in MIME types. I'm just going to call it MIME type. Yeah. MIME types require MIME types. Cool. So MIME types require MIME types. So yeah, we have that in place. Let's just call it MIME. Okay, call it MIME. So MIME require MIME types. So we have that in place. And let's do some configuration, some Malta configuration for image uploads. So just below the Gemini configuration, I'm going to have a comment here and say configure Malta. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to have some storage settings configuration for Malta. But that's a lot of code, so I'm just going to be copying it from somewhere, and I'm going to explain everything. You can always check the Malta package to see how it is configured, but save us time. Yeah, we're just going to copy the code, and I'm just going to explain what it does. So let's come here, paste, scroll down. Let me also wrap this view so that we don't keep having those horizontal bars in our code editor. Yeah, so these are Malta configuration. So what it does is that it calls this disk storage configuration function, and it takes in an object, a configuration object, and inside we define the destination parameter. This is basically going to be where we want our files to be stored. So it takes in a callback, like the regular middleware callback, and here we have a callback with null as the first argument, and the second argument is where we want to upload our files, which is an uploads directory that we're going to be creating soon. Then we have the file name parameter, which is what we want to name our file. We want to intercept our files and rename them as they come in. And here I'm just using the date function to generate a random name for the file, and also maintaining the extension. So that's what we have here. That's what we're configuring here. First, the destination should be in the uploads folder, and we want to auto generate file names. Now you need to create that uploads folder. We need to create that uploads folder so that it actually exists in our project. Yeah, so that's where our images are going to be stored. So you can save that. Malta also has a configuration where you can save the images in memory, but yeah, for now we're just going to be using the add files. So we have that first, then we complete our configuration. Scroll down complete our configuration by saying const upload, create an upload object, and we set that to Malta, and we pass in that storage configuration. Remove this. So we just say upload equals Malta, and we pass in that storage configuration. Save. Like I said, this is all Malta stuff. You can check out npm. Let's go to the page. You can come here and say, you can Google npm Malta, and you can come to the Malta page on npm and check out how it is configured. So yeah, it's actually being downloaded 4.7 million times every week. So it's a very, very popular package when it comes to managing file uploads. So I have Malta in place, and we have this upload object. Now we're going to be using this upload object as a middleware on our endpoint, on our process image endpoint, so that I can get the file that is coming from the client. So we're going to set it as a middleware. And to do that, we're going to say upload.single, because we're expecting a single file. And we give it the name of the file. That's the name that is given to the file that is coming. So in our front end, when we're sending the file, we have to give it the name file. You can give this any name you want. Just make sure that you're using the same name in the front end as you're using here. So we're going to be using file. That's okay. So with this, yeah, we're good. We're good. We have access to our file. Now, let us write some code that is going to send stuff to Gemini. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get our file path. File path, that will be equals to rec.body.file. Or no. Rec.file.path. Yeah. This is where Malta stores our file. Any uploaded file is stored in this path temporarily. So rec.file.path. That's our file path. And let's get the MIME type of that file. Like I said, it is needed for the Gemini request. So here we're just going to use the MIME library, that's the MIME types library, and we're going to call the lookup function, and we pass it the file path. Yeah, so it's going to automatically tell us what is the MIME type of this file, the uploaded file. So once we have those two, we can get into action. The next thing we're going to do is to write an image path object. Image path object. And Gemini expects an object for every image, and inside we're going to define an inline data property, and this property is going to have a data property within it, and this data property is going to be the string representation of our file. So first we get our file into a buffer. We say buffer from our file, that's file path, but we need to read this file. We need to read this file path. So first let me remove this, and let's bring in two libraries from the Nodejs library that's going to help us to do that. So first we bring in the fs library. So require fs, and we'll also be needing the path. No, not that. Require. So we're also going to be needing path. So we need these two to reliably work with our file. So let's come back here. Say buffer from. So the first thing we're going to do is read our file. We say fs.read file sync, read our file synchronously, and we're going to pass into that our file path. Pass our file path into that. So that's good. I think the path was used here. Yeah, the path was used here. Yeah, I forgot to bring that in. The path was used for the Malta configuration. So yeah, copy and pasting. But anyway, so here we use the fs, and here we get our string representation so that we can send it over the wire, and we get it as base 64. So get it as base 64. So that's our data, that's our image data. And the next thing we're going to pass is the MIME type. We're going to pass the MIME type. So I'm just going to say MIME type. I'm going to leave it like this. We can actually do this, MIME type. Yep. But since it is expected as this, and we already named our variable MIME camel case type, we can just leave it like this. Short form. Okay, so we have our image part. And once we have this, then we are going to be creating a variable for our array of images. I'm going to say images array, because you can actually send in more than one image. But here we only have one image, so we're going to be sending just one image. So we're going to send it, and the single image that we want to pass will be the one that we just defined the image part. So we have images array, and we pass in our single image. So we have this in place. So this does it for the image that is going to be going with our request. And next is the prompt. So our prompt is going to be gotten from the request. So I'm just going to add a variable for it here. Prompt. That will be rec.body.prompt. Yeah. So we have our prompt in place. And now we can make our request. We can make our Gemini request with our image array and our prompt. So we're going to create a request variable and set it to await Gemini model.generate content. Gemini model.generate content. And this time we're going to be passing it in an array, because we want to pass both the prompt and the image data. So the first thing that goes in is the prompt, and then we spread our images array. Yeah, that has to be spread in. You have to use the spread operator for that. So we have the prompt and our images array in our request. Then we can get our response, and that will be await request.response. So we have await request.response. So we have our response, and then from there we can get our result. Remember, our result is text based, so we have response.text. Call text as a function. .text. So we get our result, all cool, all good, and then we can simply send our result back to the client. Send our result to our client. Good. So this was also a lot. So let's just walk the code back from the top. So the first thing we did was that we installed these two libraries, Malta and MIME types. Malta helps us with our image upload, and MIME types helps us to automatically detect the MIME type for the image that is uploaded. Then, because of some configurations that we're going to be doing with Malta and with also the Gemini request, we also will be needing our FS module from Nodejs standard library, and also our path module from the same Nodejs standard library. So once we have those two in, we then configure Malta. We configure a storage. We create a storage configuration for Malta, where we set the destination to this uploads folder, and we also tell it to auto-generate file names based on the date that the file was uploaded. And finally, we set it to this upload object. We pass in the storage configuration to Malta to create this upload object. That upload object, let's go down here, is being used as a middleware in our process image endpoint, so that when it detects an image, it processes the upload and it puts the path in this rec.file.path property. So once we have that, we also use the MIME type library to look up the MIME type for the file that was uploaded, and we also get our prompt from the user. That's what the user wants Gemini to do with the image. Now Gemini expects each image to be represented as an image path object, so we define that. We create a text representation of our image so we can send it across, and also Gemini expects the images in the request to come in an array, so we put this image, the single image that we're processing, into this array, and we call our request with the prompt and the image array data. So with that in place, we can then get our response, and from our response we can get our textual result, which we then pass down to the client. So this is all good. Let's save that and test it out and hope this doesn't blow up in our face. So let's go to Postman. Let's open Postman. Let's open another tab. For this request, we're going to say localhost :3000, and this time we hit the process image endpoint. And it's a post request, so let's make sure that we set to a post request. And the body is going to be form data. Yeah, form data. Yeah, it's going to be form data. Yeah. So we're going to have our body. Let's pull down the response window. So we're going to have our body. The first is the prompt. And I'm just going to tell it to describe the image. So I'm going to tell Gemini to describe the image. So describe this image. Describe it. Just tell us what the image is about. Then I'm going to be passing in another value, another variable, or another piece of data, which is the file. And like I said, from the client, it has to be named file because that's what we used here. If you go here, we said that Malta should expect this file with the name file. This image file with the name file. So it's a file in Postman, and this is a it takes this stuff disappears. I don't know why. Yeah. So you click this because we want to set this to a file. The request to be a file. Yeah. So it's to be a file. This is by default text, so that's good. But this has to be a file. So here we can now select a file, and I'm just going to go to my downloads folder where I have gotten a cake picture. This is WebP. Can it process WebP images? Well, let's test it out. I've only worked with PNG and JPEG till now, but let's look at how this goes. So I'm just going to select that. Oh, there's this file isn't in your working directory. Well, I don't know what that means. Okay, let's test this out and let's see if we can get a response. Let's send. Let's send. Let me see. Send. I think we got an error or something. Let's go down. Error. Troubleshooting. Oh, I have not switched on my server. Sorry about that. I have not switched on my server. My server is off. So let's run the server. Yeah, server is back up. Now let's go back to Postman. And let's request this once again. So it's going and it says not found. Process image. Not found. Interesting. Not found. Let's go back. What did we name our post? Oh, I used C. Sorry about that. C. Process image. Sorry. So let's save that process image. Let's rerun our server. Yeah. Let's go back. And now let's hope things go smoothly. So I'm going to hit send. The request is ongoing, and we don't get a response back. Socket ungop. What was the error? Bad request. Image input modality. Let's just find a JPEG file. Let's just find a JPEG file. So this is where I got the kick from. Let me try this guy. Let's save this guy. So let's save it. Hope it's JPEG. I don't know yet. Let's save this. And it's JPEG. Yeah, it's JPEG. So let's use this other kick file. So I'm going to hit up Postman once again. I got it. And remove this. Select this JPEG file. Open. And now let's test it with this. Let me raise this up. Let's say send. Okay, what's going on? We are encountering an error. Oh, our server is down. Let's bring it back up. So bring our server back up. That error kind of killed our server. So let's try the request again. Hit it. Sending request. Going. We still have an error. Interesting. Oh, so this is where it is important to always read your error messages. I kept thinking it was my image, but after reading this, I realized, yeah, image input modality is not enabled for Gemini Pro. I am using the Gemini Pro model. I'm supposed to use the Gemini Pro Vision model. So sorry about that. So sorry about that. We need to change this to Gemini Pro Vision. Where's the Gemini configuration? Yeah, Gemini Pro Vision. Yeah, that's supposed to be one of the first things I should do. So sorry about that. And I had that in mind. I was going to switch this model. The Gemini Pro model, like I said earlier, does not take images, but the Gemini Pro Vision does. So let's save this. And yeah, we should finally be able to get our result. Let me clear this. And let's get our server back up. Yeah. Yeah, Gemini Pro. I should have just read. I should have just read the error message. So our server is back up, and now let's process our image. Going. Hopefully no errors this time. And let's see what we get. And boom. Yeah, we have a result. I think it would probably have worked on that WebP image. But yeah, we got our result. A pink cake with pink frosting and white pink piping. And pull this up. There is a slice missing from the cake. Yup, showing the pink layers inside. The cake is on a white plate. That is fantastic. This is the cake. I think I can bring it up here. This is the cake, so I think it's accurately describing it. A pink cake with white frosting. Okay. With pink frosting rather, and white and pink piping. Looks that way. Yeah, my wife bakes cake, so I know what piping is. There's a slice missing from the cake, definitely. And it shows the pink layers inside. Yup, delicious. And the cake is on a white plate. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly white, but yeah, we can approximate that and say yeah. Now let's test with the WebP image. Let's see if we can actually process WebP image. So let me get this window back. Let's change this. Select the WebP image. That's the very first cake I picked. Now let's send the request. Waiting. Yup, yeah, it did. It worked well with the WebP image. Let's bring that cake up too and analyze. Yeah, let's analyze. So this is the cake, and it's telling us that a chocolate cake. Yup, a chocolate cake with rainbow sprinkles, definitely, and 6 lit candles on top. Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's not 6. You got that wrong. 6 lit candles. Oh, lit candles. No, none of these candles are lit, are they? No, none of them are lit. So yeah, the cake is on a white plate. Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely this should be white. Looks egg white though, but yeah, you can't say it's white. So yeah, that's how you process images with Gemini. Sorry for all those errors, but even from the errors, it has helped you to learn a lot of stuff about how the Gemini request works from Nodejs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the series, and if you want more Gemini tutorials, let me know. Also, you can always subscribe to my newsletter to get stuff about what I'm doing with Gemini, courses I'm creating with Gemini, and all sort of stuff like that, and even some Gemini blog posts. So yeah, that's it for this series. See you in another one.